What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, the only Magic the Gathering YouTube channel doing giveaways based on how I draft. You'll see up on the screen here, if I do horribly in this draft, if I get 0 wins, I'm giving away a Final Fantasy Collector Booster Pack to one of you, all the way down to if I get 7 wins. If I crush it, I'm giving away a draft to one of you. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on how you think I did. Now, before we jump into it, we are going to spin the Wheel of Chaos to make things a little bit more interesting for us. Alright, so today's challenge is that we are going to be a rare collector, which means if we ever see a rare card in a pack, we have to take it. It's going to be a fun way to jump into a new set, taking every single rare we see. Hopefully, we can draft a decent deck here. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, jumping into this first pack. Hopefully, we can get a good rare. We get a rare. We packed Minwu White Mage, which is okay. I think there's a world in which this is good, and I think we will draft some life gain payoffs, hopefully. Whenever we gain life, we put a 1/1 counter on each cleric we control, so life gain isn't a huge theme in the set, but I think we can try and make it work. Other cards here that were decent, I do think Snow Villiers is pretty good. Suplex is a really good removal spell. I do think that Torgal, a Fine Hound, is also a really, really solid green 2-drop. But we're not giving up on too much. We're going to try it. Hopefully, Minwu, White Mage, we can draft some sort of life gain deck here. Hopping into this next pack, and there's a bad rare. From Father to Son, search your library for a vehicle card, reveal it, put it into your hand. If it was cast from a graveyard, you put it on the battlefield instead, and then shuffle. This card is maybe the worst rare in the set. It's really bad. It's really not good. And we have to pick it here, unfortunately. If we didn't have to pick that, other considerations in this pack, I do think Ignis Scientia is pretty solid. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, put a land card on the battlefield, tap, so it helps you ramp your mana. And then Saz's Chocobo is also really, really strong. Just if you play this on turn 1, it can kind of run away with the game. But we're taking From Father to Son here, just how we drew it up. Moving on into our third pick, there's another rare here. There is a Jidur Aristocratic Capital, which is also not that good. There's not a huge mill theme in this set, but we are forced to pick it here, which doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. But I will say, by the time that we can pick cards, we'll really be able to know what's in the pack, what's open, and hopefully that will help us pick our lane here. All right, we can pick a card in this pack. Would be nice to have 2 Ignis Scientias. That is a pretty solid card. We could also take the White Mage's Staff, though, with the Minwu White Mage. It's actually pretty good. It's also a cleric, so I think we might just pick up a ton of those. Sleep Magic is a really good removal spell, so I can see why that would maybe be a better pick. I think if I was like really trying as hard as I possibly could, I would take either the Scientia or the Sleep Magic. But we're having fun. We're spinning a Chaos Wheel, and hopefully we can play the White Mage's Staff into Minwu at least once today. Jumping into our 5th pick, there is a rare here, Esper Origins. Surveil 2, you gain 2 life. This spell was cast from a graveyard, exiled, and put it onto the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. Life gain, you know, we might be doing something here. I don't think this card is that good. I think it's okay. It kind of replaces itself. It's a little bit slower and more grindy. I think if I was able to pick, I'd be really excited to get a Fate of the Suncrist or a Snow Villagers here. But we're taking Esper Origins, and we've already picked up 4 rares, which should be, that's like a good thing, right? All right, jumping into this next pack, there are no rares. There are no rares, so we can pick whatever we want. I think we actually will take a Saz's Chocobo. I think there's a world where green is pretty open. Like, I don't see anyone playing a green deck and being like, I don't want this card in my deck. It's a bummer because we could have had 2 of these and like a lot of other good cards. I think like blue, green, landfall would have been crazy. But we've got what we've got. We're going to pick up a Saz's Chocobo here, and we're pretty excited to pick that up. Jumping into our 7th pick here. So, Crystal's Chosen, I actually think looks pretty good. Especially if we're playing green with white and we have some ramp there as well. I actually think the Crystal's Chosen is decent. So I'm going to pick that up here, weirdly enough. There's no rares, so I don't have to pick anything else. Gubu Gardener might be a little bit better, but I think Crystal's Chosen actually might be decent for us here. Especially if we get a lot of cheap creatures. Moving on into our 8th pack. So there's no white cards in the pack, which is not a great sign. There is a Cactuar here, which is not my favorite card. It's a little bit too aggressive, and even then it doesn't feel that good. So I don't think we want that here. Commune with Beavers is okay. We might just take a Crossroads Village. I think we'll just do that and maybe help our mana base out a little bit here. Hopping into our 9th selection. Weird packs here. So there's no rare. We don't have to pick anything. I do think that the best card in the pack is probably the Demon Wall. It's not great, but I don't love anything else here. I don't love the Lunatic Pandora all that much. I think there's a chance that we end up playing black-white. So we'll take a Demon Wall here. Moving on into our 10th pick, we'll take a T-Rexar. Hey, Lifegain. You see it on the card. So we're going to try and do that here. I don't know. Maybe we will just end up being a weird green-white Lifegain deck? Question mark. Moving on to this next pack, we'll take an Iron Giant. I don't think we're going to want to play it. We've already got so many super expensive cards. Our 12th pick, we could take a Laporte Scout, or we could take Iridia's Return. I think we'll take the Scout. I don't love either of those. But like if we're making a bunch of tokens, I can see it maybe lining up. I don't know. I don't love it. All right, hopefully we get a good rare in this next pack, and we don't. We have to pick a Luiso's Sacrifice, which is bad. If we could pick, I'd probably take a Summon Fat Chocobo or a Slash of Light here, but we are taking the Luiso's Sacrifice. We can sacrifice a legendary creature or pay 2 in addition to the blue mana, counter an activated ability, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. It's not great. Not great. Moving on to this next pack, we have to take Terra, Magical Adept. When Terra enters, mill 5 cards, put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way into your hand. Then we can exile her, then return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. And then it turns into a Saga, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, we have to pick it. I don't really want to pick the Darkness Crystal. I'm not a huge fan of that here. I don't think we want to be playing black. And maybe we'll splash red for this. I don't know. Doesn't feel great, but also doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world. Moving on to this next pack, we can pick something we want. I want to do the Lifegain thing. We're taking another White Mage's Staff. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it is. Dragon's Lance, probably better. But we're taking the White Mage's Staff here. Really solid 2-drop. And I want to make the Lifegain stuff work here today. This deck is looking a little psychotic. I'm not going to lie. Moving on into our 4th selection here. There is no rare, so we can pick whatever we want to. Problem is, I think we're kind of being cut off. So I don't think we want to completely pivot here. But I think that it makes sense for us to take a card like Call of Mountain Chocobo. I don't know if we're going to be playing hard 3 colors, but I think red is much more open than green is. So I'm going to pick the Call of Mountain Chocobo here. I'm not sure I love that, but we're going to try it. Head on to our 5th pick. We can take another Call of Mountain Chocobo. I like that more than the Fire Magic. Looks like blue might be more open. Aerith Rescue Mission is also decent. It's pretty good with the Crystals Chosen as well, so maybe we'll do that actually instead. Yeah, let's try that. Over something like the Call of the Mountain Chocobo. I just don't know if we're going to be playing red. And that does go really, really well with the Crystals Chosen. Just putting a 1/1 counter on every creature you control. Just going as wide as possible. Moving on into our 6th pick. We get a choice here. I think we go all in on the Crystals Chosen. And we just go extremely wide here. And hopefully that will work with some of the cards that we have. I think we're probably going to take the red out of our deck. It'll be just kind of a green-white Lifegain deck, because that's an archetype in this set. All right, moving on into this next pack. So looking at our current count, we don't have a ton of creatures. We do have some White Mage's Staffs, which are decent. But I do think we want to prioritize picking creatures here. I do think Summon Chocomog is pretty strong, especially if we're going super wide with cards like the Crystals Chosen. So I'm going to pick that here over something like a Blitzball Shot or an Infantry. Moving on to this next pack. Still no rares, so we can pick whatever we want here. I think now the Coral is okay. I just don't like anything else. I mean, none of these cards are good. Dreams of Lagoon is decent. Light of Judgment is just super expensive. We'll take a Coral. I mean, if we have to play it, we have to play it. Hopping on into our 9th selection. I do think we're going to take an airship crash. We need some sort of removal. We have like none right now. So we're going to pick that up over, maybe a Lunatic Pandora is actually better. Yeah, let's take the Lunatic Pandora. I think it's just a little bit stronger. Just gives us a little bit more access to targeting any permanent. Hopping into our 10th pick, we can still pick whatever we want, which is nice. Problem is, there's not that much good stuff. So here, I don't really like a magic pot. Don't love a world map. Maybe I like this just because we have some expensive cards we want to cast. So we'll take a world map, and if we like have to play it, we have to play it. Hopping into our 11th pick, I do think You're Not Alone is actually pretty decent in this deck. I think we have a lot of different creatures. Giving something +4/+4 until end of turn is actually pretty strong for 1 mana. Now looking at our 12th selection, again, blue is open. I think that was the lane we probably were supposed to be in. Yeah, eject is really, really late, but we're not pivoting there now. Hopping into this last pack, our rare is a legendary human artificer. When it enters, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact token. With this creature gets 1/1 for each artifact you control, and then you can tap and untap an artifact and add a blue mana. Shuffle your library, then exile top card until end of turn. You can play that card without playing its mana cost. So that's certainly something. I do think Jill, Shiva's Dominant, is really good. Really, really good. I don't think we're playing blue, but we have to pick a rare. And this is a rare. And I like it a little bit more than the artifact one. So we're going to pick it up here. Maybe we'll splash it. I don't think we will. Hopping on into our 2nd selection, we have to take Hope, Esteem, and I will say we're going to have to take some rares in these last packs as they get passed around. Don't love this one. But we're going to pick it here. Wow, we get to pick it again. Let's go. That's unfortunate. I would really like to take a white Orsite. We have like no removal. But we're taking another Hope, Esteem because we're doing it. I will say Lifegain. Lots of Lifegain on that card. So maybe we're playing a really chaotic blue, green, white deck. Hopping into our 3rd selection here. So Colosseum Behemoth is really strong, but we do have a lot of kind of expensive cards. I don't really want to pick that here if we don't have to. We can also just take an Ignis Scientia if we want to move into like, hey, we're probably playing blue. Or we can just take another Crossroads Village. Let's do that. This draft is so interesting. Hopping into our 5th selection. So we are sitting at 9 creatures, 8 non-creatures. I do think we have enough to ramp into that we want a card like the Gubu Gardener. There's no rares here, and this deck is looking hilarious. Hopping into our 6th pick, there is a rare, the Triple Triad. Beginning of your upkeep, each player exiles the top card of the library. You can play that card. I don't want that card, but I have to take it because it is a rare, and I decided that would be a fun challenge. Hopping into our 7th selection now. I do think we are totally fine taking another Aerith Rescue mission. I think like there's a world where we go super wide and it actually works out. Moving on to our 8th pick, the Wind Crystal. Lifegain. Creatures you control gain flying and lifing until end of turn. We're picking it. We're taking it. I don't know how good it is, but it's rare, so we have to take it. There's a chance that we were way too in on Minwu to start, and we have too much life gain and shenanigans. I don't know if we're going to end up playing blue, but we might straight up be short on playables. Here we'll take a Laporte Scout. I actually think it works in this deck. I don't think this card is good, but I think in this deck it actually could do some work. Here we'll take a Capital City, just hoping to fix our mana as best as we can. I think Perfect World, we take out the Hope Esteems from our deck. We'll take another Rescue Mission, although that feels a little excessive. Here we'll take a Monk's Fist, just so we have enough 2s. We'll take a Lunatic Pandora, and let me know what you think. This challenge made things tough. Made things tough. Probably not how I would have drafted, but we have a deck here that definitely could win some games. Here we'll take a Sage's Noliths. Alright, so here is the deck that we're rocking with today. It is quite possibly the most unhinged and chaotic deck I have ever drafted on the channel. It looks bad. It doesn't look good. But, in theory, we could win games of Magic with this deck. Alright, we go first. Saz's Chocobo without a forest is probably bad, but we're going to keep it. Eventually we can cast it, and we can still play like a White Mage's Staff, which will be decent. or a Coeurl. So I think we keep this here. Forest is right on time. I think we want to get the Saz's Chocobo out right now, just so that we can get the landfall. Are they going to kill it? Don't. No. 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 The Chocobo dies. I will say, I don't know how strong it was actually going to be. Freya Crescent is decent. We did draw the Crystal's Chosen, which we'll be able to play eventually, maybe. We can make a 2-2 here with lifelink, and then next turn we can make some 1-1 tokens. 7 mana is a bunch. So Summon Chocomog is a pretty good draw. I do think now we'll start by attacking. And then we'll just play out our rescue mission and make a ton of 1-1s. And then our Chocomog next turn will actually be able to do some work. Looks like our opponent is either mono red or stuck with mountains. Looks like they might just be mono red, which is kind of hype. Now I do think we'll just play our Summon Chocomog. This will allow us to attack with our White Mage's Staff hero. I don't think we want to send a bunch of 2-1s to die, so I'm just going to attack with the White Mage's Staff hero. And then next turn we can play the Coeurl and the Monk's Fist. Choco Comet is good. So they take out one of our heroes and just make a good blocker. So I would assume our opponent is going to be playing green as well. I do think now we just want to get as many lands as we can. So I'm going to play the Esper Origins followed by a... Maybe we'll do followed by a Coeurl so that we can actually attack. And now we will attack with the Chocomog and the other hero. And now next turn we can play the Esper Origins again if we want to. And then we will also get a decent kind of board bump there. Barrett Wallace is decent. I do think now we do just want to play the Esper Origins to surveil again. I do think that we want the Crossroads Village first, and we'll actually just play out the T-Rexar. And then we are not going to be attacking. And then next turn we can play out our... Yeah, next turn we can actually play out the Crystal's Chosen, which I think will be pretty decent on this board. And then it'll allow it so that for our third phase of this, other creatures we control get +2/+2 and trample. So I think it'll actually be pretty decent. Blazing Bomb is decent. Alright, so... Look, their board is better than ours right now, but we're going to get a pretty good Crystal's Chosen out there. Looks like our opponent is a mono red deck, which is hype. Good for them. I think we're fine taking 5 here. And now we'll just slam the Crystal's Chosen, buffing our entire board. I think here we'll call out a green so that we can play our T-Rexar next turn. And I do think we'll start attacking like this, just to put some pressure on our opponent. I do want to keep the Esper Madwin alive for our next turn, so we can get a huge attack in. But I think this makes some sense for us here. So they have a triple triad, which I think is going to be a little bit too slow. So all of our creatures get +4/+4 in trample until end of... Sorry, +2 and 2 in trample. So they're all 4/4 tramplers. So we're going to attack everywhere. And we get there in game 1! Let's go! Huge first victory with this deck that is so normal. I will say we played a mono red deck, which maybe wasn't the strongest thing, but we get a dub. It's a huge, huge win. All right, hopping into this next game. Our opponent goes first. I do think we're going to keep this hand of 7. We can start with a Pandora into a White Mage's Staff into a Scout. I don't know how good any of those cards actually are. I think the Staff is okay. Other ones are filler, but that's okay. We're going to try and scrap a win here. Heck Dies is good, but I think we're fine discarding our Hope Esteem. We're not getting a blue mana anytime soon. Here we'll just play out our White Mage's Staff, make it a 2/2. Another Heck Dies is annoying. We'll get rid of a forest. And I do think we're fine just starting by attacking here. If they want to double block, sure. And then we'll just play out our Scout, which is, albeit, not that impressive right now. Alright, so now I do think we just put the White Mage's Staff on the Scout. They're probably going to have like a removal spell or something here. But we'll just start by attacking, getting some life back, doing some damage. Looks like they are going to get the Heck Dies back here, which is unfortunate. So we're going to lose both of the cards in our hand, which doesn't feel great. Yeah. So we have to get rid of our T-Rexar. I would assume they're going to get rid of our other card here too. So we'll give our creature +2/+2 until end of turn. So that doesn't feel awesome. We will just continue attacking for now. And playing out lands. Doesn't feel great, but we do have a lot of expensive cards we can draw that would be good. Primal Garuda is quite strong. That's tough. Yeah. So I guess we'll Surveil here. Another White Mage's Staff is not it. Yeah, we're probably pretty toasted here. Well, that's legendary. How fun is that? Okay. It's not great. So here we'll take 6, which does not feel fantastic. And they have got all the signpost uncommons, but we can surveil. How cool is that? Aerith Rescue Mission is decent. It's not incredible. But we can potentially block some things here. They're probably going to make their Rufus able to attack. Wow, so turns around 4/3 with Menace and Flying. Pretty good. Pretty good. Our opponent has a normal deck. This is how you draft a Magic the Gathering deck. We, on the other hand, have this. Dire Rat is good, and, I mean, look, we'll try and stay alive for a second here, but we're pretty dead. They have another one? That's so sick. We'll take 6. All right, we go down here. I can't say this is the greatest deck we've ever drafted, but hopefully we can sneak out a couple more wins here. Let's get out of here. All right, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. Do we keep this? I think we're supposed to. Worst case, we can cycle the T-Rexar. Hope his theme is pretty bad in this hand. But hey, we needed playable cards, and it is a card that can be played in Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy. We'll start with the Pandora. Moving into a White Mage's Staff is okay. Ride the Shoot buff is interesting, to say the least. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it looks really fun. But if they don't have any creatures out there, it's not incredible. But if they play like a 2-drop into a land, it would have been good. Ignis Scientia is solid, so they can go get that land, and then they can put a counter onto their Ignis. So, actually pretty good. Yep. Yep. So now we can't do much, except for Surveil. I don't really think we want to cycle this yet. There's a chance they just start taking over some landfall here. Yeah, we might be in a tough spot. But we can surveil, so it's going to be totally fine. Plains is good. We'll take a Plains. So then we can play our Aerith rescue mission. So we're going to go for that here. Look, it's not incredible, but it stabilizes us a little bit. I guess we're attacking because we're probably not blocking with this. We can get some life back. If they want to use a trick to kill our thing, I'm also totally fine with that. They have one more card in hand. So they do have a trick. Magic Damper. So, like, honestly, that's okay. Here we'll take 4. Looks like they don't have another land. Crystal's Chosen is interesting. So I think we're probably supposed to cycle so that we can hit our land drop here. And then we'll just surveil again. I'm not sure what our opponent has. Dragoon's Wyvern is pretty good. Looks like they are getting a little bit stuck over there, not drawing lands that they might need to. So hopefully we can get some good stuff here. Another rescue mission is honestly not going to cut it. So I'm going to put that back. We are not going to block. We'll continue taking 4. Coero is also not good. We'll play it. We'll continue to surveil. Really stalling out here, which is not ideal. T-Rexar is solid, and that probably does it for us. Probably does it for us here. So we'll block like this. Doesn't feel great. Maybe we're supposed to block like this. Take 7. I mean, either way, we're just dead. I don't know why I'm thinking about it so hard. Yeah, and we go down here. All right. We're 1 and 2, but we can totally bounce back from this. All right, hopping into this next game. I do think we keep this. So we can play Esper Origins on 2, then eventually Rescue Mission, then eventually the Crystal's Chosen. So could be worse. Could be worse. Our opponent goes down to 5, which is not good for them. We're going to start by playing a Forest, and then next turn we can play an island. I'm sorry, a Plains, and then play our Esper Origins, which I think feels okay. We also eventually can cast our Jill, so Hopus Theme. I don't think we want you. You're not a cleric. I do think we want an island or a Plains though, because it will help us eventually get to our Crystal's Chosen. Dark Knight Greatsword is good, but I will say we're about to make a bunch of 1/1s. So we're going to take this turn off, which won't feel fantastic, but then next turn we can play the Aerith Rescue Mission and hopefully stabilize that way. Seifer Almasi is really good with the 4/1 they have. It's pretty good. Yep. 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 Yeah, that's tough. Rescue Mission's still fine. I think we're gonna have to start chump blocking with our tokens, which doesn't feel fantastic. So now we'll just chump with a token, which is okay. Not ideal, but I think it's okay. And now we can just play this land. We can cast Jill. And then we'll return the Seifer to our opponent's hand. And we can kind of hold on for a second. We can try to. So we're going to cast it again, which we assumed they would do. And we'll just continue to chump with our tokens. It's not ideal, but it's also like not the worst thing in the world. And there's also a chance eventually we just chump block with Jill as well, just because it's not actually doing that much for us. I do think now we'll just make a bunch more tokens. And just continue to try and hold on. It'd be so funny if we came back in this game. Black Mage's Rod is pretty good. Another Black Mage's Rod is pretty good. We will continue to chump with some tokens. So now I do think we play this. I think we're supposed to choose blue. And then we'll just play our Esper Origins. I do think we want to continue getting lands here. And then we'll continue just trying to hold on, throwing some tokens at the problem. I will say too, like the Crystal's Chosen is going to kind of hit. Side quest is solid. They're probably going to take out our Esper Madwin. Yeah, which is not ideal. What's funny is that creature did not die. That creature just got exiled. We're going to continue just chumping here. And then now, I guess that creature did die. So now we'll go with the Crystals Chosen. It's not perfect, but we're a little stabilized. We're getting close. They also can only attack with one creature to get the double strike, which is fine. Marlborough is pretty good. I think we'll discard a Plains and feel fine about that, though. They exiled our T-Rexar, which is less than ideal. Look, I think we keep just throwing tokens at the problem here. We will continue to chump block. I do think now it makes sense for us to Lunatic Pandora and take out the Almassy. Continue to hold. We have a ton of tokens. Everything's fine. And then, depending on how they attack here, we can actually get kind of aggressive with like a Chocomog. And then White Mage. If we draw an untap land. So, I do think it is worth it for us to play a Chocomog into a Gardener here. I think we wait and we attack everywhere next turn, depending on what they do here. Light of Judgment is... I can't even see what the spell is. I think it's 6. I think we're gonna save it. We're gonna do it. Which kind of hurts our attack for lethal, but it actually makes our board a little bit better. I do think now we'll start just sending in all of our heroes. And then if they block with the Marlborough, they'll eat 1, but then we're starting to do some damage and kind of eat away at their board here. And then next turn we can potentially transform our Jill and make the White Mage unblockable. Monk's Fist is fine. I do think now we will do this and make our White Mage unblockable. It's also got Vigilance, so it's still a decent blocker, and we'll start to get some life back. And then we will also play out our Monk's Fist here, so that next turn we can equip it to the White Mage and potentially be looking at lethal. Alright, we're gonna go for it with the White Mage here. I actually think we're supposed to attack everywhere. I'm gonna take out the Marlborough. And we get there! We come all the way back and win! What a ridiculous game. What a ridiculously stupid game. I don't know how we won that. We somehow just kept making tokens, kept blocking, and we come all the way back and win. We're now 2-2. Alright, hopping into this next one. I do think we want to keep this. It is really slow, but we've got a Monk's Fist. We've got a T-Rexar that can go get us some lands, and then eventually some Crystals Chosen. I just think this looks fun. We're playing really chaotically. Playing very fun here, so don't take anything I do too seriously. I think now we'll just attack. And then I think we'll cycle the T-Rexar just so we continue hitting our land drops. Because if we can go Rescue Mission into Crystal's Chosen, I actually feel pretty good about this one. So I'm going to cycle it here. We'll go get a forest. And then we will just make a ton of 1/1s. Looks like they caught their fish quite quickly, which is good land ramping for them, as well as, you know, getting a decent card. I will say that card is pretty good to attack into with our army of 1/1s. So we're going to start by attacking everywhere. And then just playing out our White Mage's Staff. And we're 2 turns away, hopefully, from casting our Crystal's Chosen here. Okay, so they're going to attack us here, probably just to make a wizard. I think we're fine taking 2 here. Suplex is fine. I do think Esper Origins is actually a really good draw. Really, really good draw. So we can actually cast this, then cast the flashback side of it, and then... Do we even want the land? Yeah, we do. So we want 1 land. And then we'll get the land into our hand. And then next turn we can go Crystal's Chosen. Turn after we can also go Crystal's Chosen, which is pretty cool. I should have done all this after combat. I don't know why. I just got really excited. But that's fine. We're going to attack here with our 4 creatures. So they are going to exile some cards off the top of their library. Ooh, that's a couple really good ones. Joshua Phoenix's Dominant is super solid, but I think they might be out of time. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to be able to transform this. Although I will say the lifelink portion of this is really, really strong. Korean Merchant is not great. Crystal's Chosen is gonna hit pretty hard here. So we can go Saz's Chocobo into land, into Crystal's Chosen. Attack everywhere. And we get there again! We're now 3-2! This run was so dead, and now it is so alive. We are so back. Alright, hopping into this next one, our opponent goes first. I do think we keep this. Eventually Minwoo will be okay. We'll probably play Esper Origins before that, though. I do think we'll take this time to go and get our island with the Crossroads Village to start off here. So we'll go and get our blue source. And then I do think we're actually going to play out the Coeurl first, so that next turn we can play out our Esper Origins and then potentially keep up You're Not Alone. Dark Knight's Crossword is fine. So I do think we'll play our Esper Origins. I don't think we want either of those. I think we've got enough lands for now. And then I'm fine. Not attacking. I'm happy blocking this if they want that. Vincent Valentine. Whenever a creature an opponent controlled dies, put a number of 1/1 counters equal to that creature's power. When it attacks, you can transform it. So that is pretty good. Pretty good. That's going to be hard to kill. I think we're going to take 4 for now. That way they can't transform their thing. And I think we're kind of okay with that. I'm actually now going to play out the Esper Origins to get a Chocomog. So we get to put that into our hand, and then I guess we are fine with this trade. I'm not going to attack. And then next turn, I think we'll probably play the White Mage Staff and the Choco-Mog. Turn after, we'll play Minwu so that we can attack with the White Mage Staff and put a counter on the Minwu. We also are going to get a couple of green mana here. They've got a Gaius Van Baelsar. I wonder if they're going to want to... Oh, enchantment. Oh, very nice, very nice. I forgot it was... You can do token, creature, or enchantment. So it's not ideal. Yeah. Okay, that's bad. Yeah. I assume they're going to transform it too. It's a 5/3 with lifelink. Yeah, 5/4, excuse me. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I think now we go double White Mage's Staff. It's not great, but it could keep us alive for a second. Yeah, so here I'm fine taking 5. Summon Fat Chocobo is good. I don't think we can get out of this. They're also at 30, which is pretty solid. So if we play Minwu, and then we attack with both, we get 2 life back. Those turn into 4/4s. But then we just die on the crackback. I think we're dead anyway. Alright, so I don't think we were winning regardless. So we do go down here. Our deck was not great. Our deck was not ideal. And this is how it ends, unfortunately, for us. So today's deck was bad. It was not good. And we somehow managed to get 3 wins, which is kind of insane, if you ask me. Typically, I think our decks are a little bit better than this. The challenges make it hard, but I think we can kind of scrap out some wins. So if you like this, please leave a comment down below. Hit that subscribe button and like this video. If you do, you could be winning today's giveaway. That is 1 Final Fantasy pack. So thank y'all for watching. Until next time.